Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to a replay analysis review. I am Sylphin. This is the series where you guys send me replays and I take a look at them, give some tips, usually as a Patreon reward perk for all of you guys choosing to go out of your way to support me. But if not, contact me and we'll see if something can be done. So ladies and gentlemen, we are looking at Man Bear Pig's team once again. Man Bear Pig, T-Boss, Diesel, Vinyls, and Brick House is the foursome, and then support Faye here. That's forgotten to go to the correct lane. Is the fifth in this that queued into this 4-stack. So in the first video we talked a lot about cards and heroes. In the second video we talked a lot about what kind of the strategy of each phase is about, which is each lane, what are the really good strategies to use. So in this game I'm going to kind of culminate everything and just kind of comment on things as I see them. Yes, it may be something that's new or something that's just, you know, something I've said before, but I want to give it as I see it, so that you can kind of just see my thinking as I am experiencing it. So right now in this duo lane, you can see Man Bear Pig and Charlotteston Chuya are on the back foot on the tower, and that's actually not a bad thing. When you are on the Dawn side? Yes, Dawn side. I always forget the sides. When you are on the Dawn side, that means that the enemy strong jungle is close to you, meaning their jungler is therefore close to you. And what you need to do is play safe. If you choose to push the lane and you're way up here, well, that makes it really easy ganks for the enemy jungler, and you don't necessarily want that. You can kind of keep it around here. You just have to be very careful of the jungler coming in there. You need to keep it right about here where you are, to be honest with you. So maybe you can steal the gold, the gold buff, and kind of contest that that economy there. In terms of that last engagement, you have to realize that what they have the advantage of being in the high ground. They can jump down the gradient, get increased movement speed because of that, and well, just indirectly because of that, and they can actually chase you down. So you have to be very, very careful. And there's moments when the enemy duo is going to engage on you, and that is usually when the minions are dead, or when there's less minions. That is when you really go for it. And this should be a good kill here. Yes, Brickhouse does come in, and that should have been an ambush there to maybe secure that kill a little bit faster. And great phase pull there to secure that as well. So good job on that. That was the time to engage when they are committed down the lane. That is when you hard engage with that phase route, with that slow on Twin Blast, and that does make sense. At this point, I would not actually push this lane. So you are pushing this lane hard. I would not actually push that lane. I would actually probably I would have tried to keep it as far as far down the lane as possible, maybe like right here or whatever, not basically hacking those minions, so that the enemy jungler likely he would have, if this was you know, if this was platinum or whatever, the enemy jungler would have probably foreseen the gank here from Brick House, having his duo lane extended down the lane so much, so he would have preemptively headed over to try to make something happen, and he should be doing that anyways. So I would not have gone down the lane after that engagement. Get your kill, and then just kind of set to farming and freezing that lane. That is very important. Great gank there on the right lane by Brickhouse, and that's exactly what you need to do. It doesn't matter if it's on the off lane or the duo lane. You need to look for those ganks. So good job there. So that is the dual lane so far of what I'm seeing. You kind of want to play it safe. You don't want to be too extended too much because, again, the strong jungle is on your side, so you have to be a little bit careful. I would also suggest healing towers. 110% healing tower. So it looks like you're going for OPD Militia build. That's exactly what OPD Militia is hands down the most damage build here. That there is currently. Good job there. Vinyls should have maybe been body blocking the Chimera there, just to try to reduce that little bit of that damage. But you know what? It is Chimera who gets regen from attacking. So yeah. So Crywolf looking like he's doing something really weird here. Which at this point, if you see that there are there's only one person, the support this Twin Blast may be able to take him out, but definitely with this phase there, should absolutely take this opportunity to kill that Fae. The Fae. It's a little bit weird to see. So at this point, you have no support close by. I mean, the phase is like right here, so I mean that's not too bad. But you have to definitely watch out look on the map. Where are they? How many are accounted for? What do you think the enemy are going to do? And you always have to think the worst case scenario. Always have to be like, you have to pretend like you're playing against the best players in the world. And be like, well, I'm going to get ganked. Like, I don't see anybody on the map, so they are right there waiting to gank me. And that, you know what, is really safe. And that's actually something I need to work on myself. Like right now, you absolutely need to just retreat. Absolutely retreat. Go back to base, and just be fine with not dying, because what happens is not only are you disabling the enemy team from getting a kill and getting that economy and getting that experience and getting all of that a kill gives you, you aren't dying, so you aren't losing opportunity to farm, to whatever. So there's much more value in retreating, staying alive, than I think a lot of people realize. And even myself, like, I'm like, oh, I just want to stay and farm just a little bit, or I just want to stay and whatever. No, if you die, and you know what, you get there's a lot that happens. So don't be afraid to go back. Don't feel bad. It's a smart decision. And hey, great gank there by Brickhouse and to help T-Boss Diesel here on the mid lane. Chimera, he has no escape, and you have to kind of realize what heroes don't have escapes, and really abuse those heroes when they are overextended. And a great synergy of the stuns. I do believe I saw that ricochet stun happen right after the Chimera call, so good job there. Layering that crowd control is very, very important. You don't want to use it all at once, but you do want to use it sequentially, so that people are rooted, so they can't do their thing, so you can focus fire, etc., etc. So good job there. That's exactly what you do, and that's what you see, in the upper echelons of play. That stacking of crowd control, focus fire, and that's exactly what those players do. So one thing I know, again, your support is not on comms, but we don't have wards. And wards, when you are, wards in the dual lane are really, really important, because the importance of them kind of switches, but the importance is still the same. If you are on Dawn, which yes you are, right? I already said that. If you outward the enemy, that means that the enemy jungler here has their strong jungle on your side, and that basically the entire value of them having the jungler close by is lost. Fantastic dodge there to dodge that that Gideon ultimate, and at this point just retreat. At this point just retreat, because Revenant can do exactly that. They have 3 people here who can likely tower dive very easily. Don't position to be taken out there. Yeah, so a little bit bad. I would have stayed around here if I wanted to commit to that, but again, with a 3-person gank, 3v2, just retreat. I mean, unless there is somebody really easy to take out and you can get the kill and whatever, but just retreat. That's kind of what, that's the biggest thing. When I made my Smurf, again, not too proud of it, that is the biggest thing that changes between silver and gold. And it was actually quite insane. It was like, 1290-ish elo, 1280, like that cusp on gold. There was like, somebody flicked a switch and all of a sudden everybody knew what they could trade into or not. Now, of course, there was still, you know, there was still errors in decision making. But like right now, Brickhouse, you absolutely should be going on here on Night Stalker. With limited mana, you don't have much to help here, and that could definitely be a kill. I think she'll die anyways. Yeah, so she dies anyways, but it could have been much more. It could have been executed much better there, and he would have been in much better position here to deal with Monolito, who would have had to come over all the way over here and you know, fight the duo. More so, and now the team is split up. So always try to focus fire on targets that are more out of position, etc., etc. Yes. So wards, I think that's what I was talking about here. Wards, it's really important. If you on the Dawn side outwar the enemy, then it's almost as if their jungler can't punish the duo lane. That's all what that jungler is thinking about when they are on the Dusk side. That's all that they're thinking about. They're like the duo is really close to me. I just need to constantly gank that lane. And you know what? If you outward the enemy duo, then boom, you all of a sudden shut down that entire you know, that entire advantage, and you know, you can push up. You don't even care that you're pushed up down your lane. You can get the gold buff. Then you're trying to be like hyper aggressive at that point, as long as you have the ward. If they outward you, you are in a serious disadvantage, because now you're like you have to sit here because, you know, the jungler will like always be here because they have vision control. The enemy mid laner has all this free space to come, you know, to come through here even or along the river, and you can get you know, 4-person ganks just constantly, and it's really not good here. So the Kwong pick here is very fantastic. We'll see here what kind of deck he has. You should definitely be having cards here. I hope that this is a replay bug. So for Kwong in the solo lane, Kwong is about the only hero that may not need Possessed Spriken. Literally, you may be able to get get away with it simply if you go straight for Greenspring and then get rid of Greenspring for Vital Waters. Get Vital Waters in here, and then you know, pretty much whatever the heck you want after that. Usually an Numbing Rogue, usually your solo laner, and we talked about this in previous videos, is your tank. As once the T1 tower goes down, then you start to get more and more space to rotate, and then you can be the tank, whereas your jungler, you know, is going to be ganking people and can utilize a little bit more damage, more so than that solo laner. Plus, it's all about sustain in the solo lane, so tank works really well with that. So yeah, so it's Font of Experience. It's almost kind of like beating a dead horse with Font of Experience. You don't need it because you have lots of experience anyways. Like, you are 3 levels ahead of the Greystone, but still, I would not go for that as Exoskeleton. Absolutely outbeats that 100,000%. And again, Vital Waters is a great transition card. Unbroken Spirit, Numbing Rogue is a fantastic card, a transition card for that, so I would go for that before Unbroken Spirit. And Unbroken Spirit naturally is a little bit better in the late game as casters come online more. You know, crowd control is much more, you know, deadly because more damage is online. Great duo there. So there you guys go. You did pretty well there. And now that you have a great 2-person advantage, excellent job here going for Fangtooth. Your solo laner does have the space to come over. Excellent utilization of that rotation by your solo lane, so perfect. There you go. Great job. You know, had pressure in the left lane. Your right lane will be fine for a little bit here. And then you guys get Fangtooth. Fantastic. Hey, that looked really good. That was fantastic. Great job there. Yeah. Well done. One obligatory card in the jungle, hands down, is Tyrant. Tyrant. Every single game. Why Tyrant is so good, I think I'm starting to kind of realize not realize, but appreciate, is the fact that it scales. So not only is it 10 power when you equip it, which is fantastic for early game ganks and damage output and blah blah blah, but as you get higher end cards, as you get, you know, cards that are more expensive and do more. So right now, way overextended, you have no idea where any of the enemy team is, and especially with somebody like Zinx, who has no form of escape, absolutely need to keep an eye on the minimap. I would actually, for almost any mid laner, get something like the Blink Charm, Astral Leap, there it is, Astral Leap, or even Executioner's Dash, stuff like that. You pretty much always need a mobility card, to be honest with you. Almost always need a mobility card. So in this engagement here, you absolutely want to focus down the Chimera first, as much as possible, because his regen obviously will go to town. And yeah, so that was an unfortunate trade there, but that is okay. You guys are winning in the duo lane. So there's no vision in that mid lane. You cannot overextend like that, especially with no mobility card, which you absolutely 110% need for sure. The dual lane there, that Revenant was way overextended in the left lane. That should have been an immediate rotation, especially since he had no vision in the mid lane. So kind of simply just rotate and secure that kill there on the Revenant, punish him for overextending like that. So yeah, Tyrant. Why is it so good? That's right, we were talking about that. Again, it scales, but the value is astronomical. And to be honest, I think it probably needs a little it needs to be toned down a little bit, to be honest with you. They already have, but I think it needs a little bit more of a tune down. And it scales. It's three agility, 3 vitality. You know, you can just get it, and it scales, and as you get as you get other cards, it just kind of keeps on giving you power at an increasing rate. So it's like, you know, you're basically equipping cards, kind of, without even equipping cards with Tyrant, and that is the true value here. So again, with nobody on the map, there's no reason to be pushing this T2 tower, especially with the Chimera not with you, with the Kwang not with you, with the Revenant pushing hard in this left lane, which should be an immediate rotation and kill. And the fact that Fangtooth is up. So not only is all of that going on, but Fangtooth is up, which is a infinitely more valuable objective than that T2 with all of that scenario. So it should have been a rotation there as well. Good pick there. So now you have a pick. You have the advantage. Absolutely need to go for Fangtooth. Have the advantage. Retreat, as it looks like you guys are doing, but it looks like the advantage that you had is now lost as the support is getting a little bit overextended, and he is going to go down. So lost the advantage there. Left is now set, is rotating up. You are at equal disadvantage, 1 for 1. So at this point, you actually have another sort of advantage. You have lane advantage right now. Right lane is pushing in your direction. Left lane is pushing in your direction. So you have equal numbers, but an advantage in another way. You guys are going to get a pick here. I would just focus down the Greystone. Get this pick. Retreat now. Retreat 100% right now. Go for Fangtooth. Fangtooth. You have a one-person advantage with the right lane pushing in your advantage. Go for Fangtooth. And I hope me explaining the thought process there really helps there. So Tyrant, absolutely necessary. Jungler, the jungler and solo laner are the more damage, the exact opposite, are the more tanky heroes in your composition. I mean, unless you're running 2 carries and, you know, both a carry somewhere else, which is usually in the solo lane. So that kind of use that, which then means your jungler is a hyper tank, somebody like Sevarog, who is better in the solo lane anyways. which then your second carry would be a jungler. But you kind of get the point. The solo lane is all, or the off lane is all about sustain, so they really quite naturally are best suited to be the tank. And then the jungler is also it's just like a brawler, like a fighter. Like, yeah, you know, you get some vitality and mostly vitality, but also agility with some good cards that provides some good damage. Something like Tyrant is fantastic. And then something that I've actually found is the Malinx something. It's not Malinx Prayer, it's not Malinx of Grace, Malinx something else. It gives you 15 power, 300 health, and the ability to heal. You get a shield above maximum health. Yeah, you get a 15% shield for all healing while you are at maximum health. So basically, you increase your health by 15% via a shield, which is obviously really good. Like 15% health on even any fighter in the jungle is a sizable amount. And it helps with your tankiness, but that 15 power actually goes a really long way, and that's I noticed that especially yesterday when I played some jungler matches with that card. So that's something I would recommend in the order affinity, so you can get wards. So at this point here, it's a 2v4 on the map, and again, you don't see anybody else on the map. You see nobody else besides the Greystone and then the duo. You know, the Zinc sees nobody in this mid lane, see nothing. So retreat. I mean, you have to assume the worst. You just have to assume that that there's a gank there, especially as, you know, you're the carry and you're one of the most important heroes in that lane. So you have to retreat at that point. There's really no point to be there, especially with Fangtooth going to be up relatively soon at this point. Yeah, exactly. Actually, that would have been the perfect time to retreat. You had pushed the enemy back into their base. Yeah, they would have been pushing as you head back to Fangtooth, but the Greystone did die, so you would have a little bit of a advantage here, especially if everybody had rotated to be here right now, and then boom, at this point, start taking out Fangtooth, the enemy team would be exactly where they are right now, pretty much, and you'd be able to retreat. And again, with 1v2 here, this is not a favorable engagement, and simply just need to retreat for something like Fangtooth, because right now, if T-Boss Diesel was taken out by that duo, which would have been should have been a high priority for that team, they would have had the advantage, and there would have been their Fangtooth, and one way for them to claw back into this game that you definitely have the advantage of. So Charleston Chuya, not sure exactly what the heck she is doing, as maybe she's being some bait for the team to get Fangtooth. But now hopefully this doesn't in the way, but the enemy or your carry is absolutely obliterated as they get great focus fire there on a high priority target. And Vinyls looks like he's low, so this is not a good engagement now. So it should have been an immediate retreat from Vinyls and T-Boss, knowing that 2 of the team is dead with only 1 of theirs. So really unfavorable advantage right here, or engagement basically shouldn't have happened at all. There's some good replay bugs in here. So there you go. So looks like we have OPD Militia and OPD Militia on Twin Blast and the Zinks. I mean, Zinks with OPD Militia does hurt a lot. The OPD Militia is a great damage card. Again, in your email, you did say that that running Zinks or Faye in the mid lane a lot more, and that would be really good. Something like Amplification Engineer, pardon me, is terribly meta right now, and this deals tremendous amount of damage into something else like Invader Mage and or even Atomic Soldier for in the other affinity. That would have worked really well. So you can see that snowball effect there from the Fangtooth. You should have immediately retreated there, and this wouldn't be happening right now. Two T2s wouldn't be taken down right now. You would have much more ability to have fought off that left that left push. The mid push would have been able to get the right as well. So unfortunately, you can see that a few little decisions. It's all about decisions. What's favorable, what's not. Yeah, you can gamble and you can be aggressive and make some kind of ballsy plays, but not at any point yet in this game so far has that chance happened. So looks like this could be a good gank opportunity. You do see two of the enemy there in the mid lane, so it could have been a good gank opportunity on the Revenant. And at this point, at the 26-minute mark, this is absolutely the time where a kill can mean the game. A pick can mean the game. Getting a pick that leads to a numbers advantage, leading to an objective, leading to the game. So at this point, you're looking for kills, and this should absolutely be an easy peasy kill on the Revenant. You know, gonna get your inhibitor. You should be focusing on protecting them anyways and getting that kill. So this basically at this point should mean the game. Almost guaranteed. This should mean a hard push here into the mid, push them back, maybe into get a kill or two into a further advantage for Fangtooth, and then maybe or prime straight into Fangtooth. But I mean, Chimera is going to do Chimera things. He's gonna get or prime. So that's actually really good play on his part. Not gonna lie, that is a good job on him, as he as well is going for good damage deck here. OPD Militia on Twin Blast is a good way to make him a little bit more viable. That will be some good damage, especially since he has a really high attack speed to begin with, so that that will work quite well. At this point, it should be Fangtooth, 110%. You have the numbers advantage. They do have Orb Prime, yes, but you do see the Chimera all the way on the right lane, so it's a Fangtooth right now. Go for that, obliterate that with all the damage on your team. And then left may be set. It may not have been. May not have been set. No, it is. It is okay. So left is set. Right is not necessarily set. They do have Orb Prime, but I think only on 3 of the enemy team. Yeah, 3. Revenant just got back. So yeah. At this point, maybe be a little bit defensive. You got Fangtooth. You're now 3 Fangtooth above the enemy team. The enemy team. I don't think they have gotten a single Fangtooth, to be honest with you. So there is a pick. At this point, now you have the advantage to maybe close out this game. The left lane is going to be now pushing in your direction, so you have to think about that. The Kwang is all on the right lane, so I would almost at this point split push to get that that advantage. Push this mid lane, try to get a pick here on the Fae. Greystone, you basically just have to ignore until there's a better time to kill him. So yeah, so at this point you have the advantage, you have the kill advantage, and the enemy team's kind of totally sleeping for this Kwang. So it looks like this is going to be an easy peasy inhibitor. So there you guys go. Hey, it worked out. This in higher match games, this absolutely would not have worked out. They would have really quite easily have gone back. What does this Chimera have? Oh, he has Trapper, yeah. Trapper on Chimeras. Almost overkill, but it's actually kind of smart. Because you don't have to use your ambush too much, and the slow from your unleash happens really quickly. And there you go. So he is absolutely obliterated. This should mean the game, but you have 3 people over here, and they're going to push down your inhibitor. So at this point, this could be easy kills on your side of the map. Get that pushing. You have Fangtooth coming up relatively soon. So it's all just a kind of MOBA-ness. Like, your lanes are priority number 1, and usually they're taken care of. And that's maybe something I myself take for granted. to be honest with you. Those lanes have to be taken care of first, without a doubt. Ooh, we have Shadow Dancer, Deathcrawler, Revenant. That's scary. He can load up that that fourth shot, and oh, look at that, just obliterated. So yeah, just mini-map. Please like this video, like it, dislike it. If you dislike it, share it with the community. Of course, guys, subscribe if you guys like this content, especially if you found it useful. Please subscribe so we can do it for you in the future. Check the video description for links to my website, merchandise store, and Amazon affiliate link, as well as all of my social media right here. Check my Patreon account for if you would like to help me out on a monthly basis. And of course, huge shout out to my Patreon supporters, YouTube sponsors, and Twitch subscribers who go out of the way to support me on a regular basis. Till next time, like always, stay optimistic and positive.